First of all, good morning. It is just about 10:30 in the morning. It's currently July 11th, 2024. It is the premiere day for Longlegs, and I will be going to see it today at 7 p.m. It is currently about 10:30 in the morning. I have a whole day of work ahead of me before I go into the movie, and I'm very nervous, but not in a bad way. I'm nervous in more of a way where I'm scared because I've heard nothing but that this is just a deeply evil movie and that it is haunting. Osgood Perkins has made movies that have affected me like that before. The Blackcoat's Daughter really got me when I watched it the first time. So I know that this man is capable of scaring me. And if everyone's saying this is going to be scary, I'm a little worried for my sanity. What I'm really excited for going into this is three things. Obviously, Nicolas Cage. I look forward to anything that he does. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. I feel like if you aren't on that wave with Nicolas Cage yet, it's kind of just like, what are you doing? 2 is Micah Monroe, who's kind of been constantly killing it in the horror game. Please hold, I have snot dribbling out of my nose. So I'm really excited for Micah Monroe's performance just because everything that she's really done so far has been kind of my thing. You know, like I've enjoyed pretty much everything that she's done. It Follows, The Guest, Watcher was really good. I think that she's really capable of holding a movie. I'm excited to see what she's able to do with an FBI agent. I'm hoping she doesn't go too Clarice Starling with it. And I'm excited to see Osgood Perkins kind of going full stop. This feels like probably his most ambitious of all of his movies, even though like Gretel and Hansel exists. Feels like it's probably going to be trying to say the most. I could eat my words walking out of this, so we'll see what happens. But as it stands now, at almost 11 a.m. on July 11th, 2024, about 8 hours before I'm going to see Longlegs, I'm pretty scared, which is, I think, what this movie wants. I am very ready to see what this movie kind of has in store for me, so I'll see you after. Wish me luck, soldier. So I just got back home from Longlegs. That movie, kind of baller. This movie was very scary. Like, this is probably the first movie that's ever made me curl up in a ball and hide like this from what was happening on screen. It was just so visceral from the very first scene. The opening scene just set the tone for just how scary this movie was going to be. And Jesus Christ, does that have a lot to do with Nicolas Cage? Oh my God, Nicolas Cage as Longlegs is one of the scariest horror villains I've ever seen in my life. He is so visually frightening that anytime he showed up on screen, my heart started racing and I just felt the need to hide. It was a very visceral experience seeing him in such a different way than I've ever seen him. If you couldn't tell, I'm not really talking about this with any script. I'm kind of just going off of my genuine reactions here. And from the very beginning, the movie is terrifying. It's horrific. It's frightening. The cinematography is beautifully done, and it sets the off tone of the movie very, very early. The movie does also start off with quite a bang, and then it slows for a long time, but during that slowness is a lot of just lingering dread. You're not seeing a lot of things happen, but when you do, it's just really upsetting. A lot of that, yeah, is owed to Nicolas Cage, but it's also owed to Micah Monroe. She is a powerhouse in this movie, and she gives a very specific performance, one that's very put together, and she's very no nonsense and very quiet about it. She's not no nonsense in the Karen type way. She's no nonsense in the she holds herself to a certain standard type of way, and she behaves in a very specific manner, and I really liked a lot of those behavioral choices from Micah Monroe. And also, she knew knew that she needed to carry a lot of the weight of this movie to keep the slower parts engaging, and she really knows how to do that. She really knows how to sell emotion to the camera. And the supporting cast all around is really, really, really great. I don't really think that there was a weak link in terms of performances in this movie. I think that everyone's giving all that they can, because the script for this movie, holy shit. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, okay? This is the best serial killer murder mystery script since Seven. And I think that this movie deserves a lot of praise for that. It's never cheesy. It never feels dishonest. It always feels very grounded. It taps into a very real sense of fear. It's something that I haven't felt since I was a kid. This movie terrified me in the way that my nightmares as a kid used to terrify me. It was really a very visceral experience. Osgood Perkins, as a horror director, he just knows how to creep you the fuck out. I don't know how he does it, but he just really knows what's gonna get in your head. Even if his scripts, because sometimes his scripts aren't the best. Again, Gretel and Hansel exists. He knows how to visually scare you, and he has shown that in full force in this movie. It's not scary in a gory or visually fucked up way. It's scary in a way where it just permeates your mind and affects the way that you're going to now live everyday life. Like, it's a very, very disturbing movie. It disturbed me a lot. Again, I have never curled up in a ball and hid behind my hands like that ever in a movie theater, ever. Even when I was going to see horror movies in middle school, I wasn't doing that. And something about this movie just really, really creeped me out. And I know that a lot of it had to do with the hype that I built up for myself before going into it, and that's okay because it was well worth it. But I don't know, it's really something else. If I were to sum up my feelings about this movie into one sentence, it would be, this is a movie that feels kind of like an infection. It feels like it's going to be there forever, even though it is just kind of a fleeting moment. This movie feels like it's going to be inside of me forever. It's going to be stuck inside of my brain for the rest of my life, and there's a lot of images in this movie that I know for a fact I'm never going to be able to forget, ever. The first time seeing Longlegs in this movie, I'm never going to forget it in my life because it took me so off guard. You'll know why when you see the movie, because it's not as late as you would think. You would think they would save showing his face until a lot later, but you'll see. Yeah, this really feels like I was just partial to just this evil spectacle for an hour and a half, and it was really impressive, if I'm being completely honest. So, do I think that everyone should be going to see Longlegs? Yeah. Do I think that everybody can handle Longlegs? No. Do I think that it is a movie for everybody? No, absolutely not. If you are a casual fan of movies like The Silence of the Lambs or Seven, this is a very, very different type of movie from those classic serial killer type of murder mysteries. A lot of this movie has some stuff I haven't seen before, but also some stuff I have, but it was just done in a way that was pretty new. A lot of this movie just felt very fresh. This is a very, 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 very fresh movie. In Longlegs, we follow FBI agent Lee Harker as she is a newly appointed agent on a serial killer case that has been ongoing for over 20 years, and she has something special about her that unlocks something new in this case. And we come to find out that Nicolas Cage's Longlegs is a big player in the events behind the scenes. It's a great procedural. It's one of the better procedurals that I've seen in a little while. And I think that a lot of people can find something that they enjoy in this movie But just be warned, this movie is scary. Personally, I found this movie fucking terrifying. I don't have any other way to put it. It's a genuinely really, really upsetting movie, but in the best way possible. It's in the best way possible, and that's all you could ask. That's really all you could. This is everything I wanted it to be. That is the highest compliment that I could give this movie. This movie was everything I expected. It's everything I wanted, and it exceeded a lot of my expectations. It's the closest to perfect that a horror movie is going to get. It's the closest to a masterpiece that this movie was going to get. For what this movie is, it is a masterpiece. That is what I will leave you out on. Did you end up seeing Longlegs? Let me know what you thought about it below. Were you as scared by it as I was? Was I kind of a baby about it? Let me know in the comments. I'm hoping to do something spoilery for Longlegs soon, and also check out my next video coming up soon, which is going to be a ranking of every single Yorgos Lanthimos movie in honor of Kinds of Kindness's run at the moment. Thank you for watching. My name is Jake. I'm really scared of Nicolas Cage, and I'll see you, Space Cowboy.